Good morning, dear students. I am Miss Vandana Pai. In today's lecture of the subject Principles of Business Management, we will be discussing the content Management as a Profession. Okay, the nature of management as a profession. Okay, now in the previous lecture, we have gone through the nature of management as an art, as a science. Okay, further, the nature is explained as a profession. Okay, now whenever in the last lecture we were discussing management as an art. Okay, at that time we had defined art. Okay, and what we had done is we had compared that art with management, means what are the features of art which we do find into management. Okay, right. Okay, now what is art? Art can be defined as systematic body of knowledge which requires skill, creativity and practice to get perfection. Okay, in the same way, the manager, a person who is supposed to practice management, is it, into your organization, this person, yes, he is required to have that skill, he is required to do creativity, and he is required to practice the methods which are prevailing in management studies. Okay, he is supposed to practice those things, okay, and get perfection into his management studies, right? So as like these features, that is systematic body of knowledge, okay, perfectionist, okay, some of the features we do find such type of features like personalized application, practice and creativity. We do find this some of the features into management also. Okay, so we had termed that management is an art of the manager also. Okay, the manager is supposed to be perfectionist, he is supposed to practice, he is supposed to try, he is supposed to, okay, apply his personal touch into the management, or whenever he will be managing some of the resources of your organization, or whenever he is supposed to apply some of the functions of the management as per the situation, what he is required to do, yes, as per the situation he is required to add his knowledge, his experience into it, and whichever is suitable, whatever suits the organization, what he should be doing is he should apply it. Okay, then we had also studied nature of the management as a science. Okay, now whenever we consider science, what is science? Yes, whenever we utter the word science, okay, what comes into our mind? Science means something experiments, right? Okay, some experiments, is it something which can be experimented into the laboratories. Okay, right. Okay, this comes to our mind whenever we utter the word science. Okay, so is management, okay, is management something which is to be treated into laboratories? No, right? Because, okay, managers, okay, the concerned person who is supposed to practice management into the organization, okay, now this manager, what he does, yes, he observes. Okay, what he observes? He observes his organization and the human resources whom the organization has employed into the organization. Right? Okay, by observing itself, what he does, okay, he collects information related to each and every resources. Okay, then what he does, yes, he refers to some of the theories, he refers to some of the experiments, yes, he refers to some of the methods which are prevailing into management studies. Okay, whatsoever is prevailing into management studies, okay, what he does, he refers by observing the resources which are employed into the organization, and whatsoever he thinks that is suitable from the organization's viewpoint, okay, which will be benefiting the organization, which will result into success, those things itself they are applied by him in the organization. Okay, so it is quite related to that manager, right? Which methods are to be adopted, what modifications are to be made, okay, whether to repeat the same practices or methods or not, is it? All these things, it is based on that manager itself. Okay, then what else? Yes, so whenever we consider management as a science, okay, management is not a pure science, but it is a applied science. Applied science means some of the applications they are subjective in nature. Okay, as per the situation he is supposed to change it. And see, whenever we consider science, okay, yes, first what comes into our mind is laboratory. Okay, for example, there are two scientists. If they are working on the same experiment, okay, you have provided them the same type of elements, okay, you have provided them same type of elements or ingredients. Okay, now whenever these two people, though they are not connected with each other, still if they do experiments on the same ingredients, the results, okay, the results which these people they will be separately generating, those results will be replica means, okay, they will be identical in nature. But what about the applications which are made by the manager? Okay, if the manager is provided with same number of team, okay, for example, both the managers, okay, they are provided with a team of 5 members. Okay, now these two managers, okay, yes, as readily said, they are provided with a team of 5 people. Okay, now though these people, okay, they might be having same type of culture, still, okay, their behavior and application of styles or their styles, they are subjective in nature. Even the team whichever is provided to them, or the people who are a part of that team, they have different nature, they have different behavior patterns. Okay, as per their behavior pattern and as per the team which is allocated to them, the results will be totally different. Okay, because the methods, practices which are adopted by the managers, they might be subjective in nature. So even though you provide them the same quantity of team, still, okay, the so-called discoveries made by these two teams separately, they will never be identical in nature. There will be difference into it, is it? So whenever we consider management is a social science. Okay, now further, whenever we extend the nature of management, yes, often management is said as management is a profession. Okay, whether it is a profession, let's see. Okay, and how it is profession, that also will be cleared here. Now, what is profession actually? Profession can be defined as an occupation backed by specialized knowledge and training in which entry is restricted. Okay, what is profession? Profession can be defined as occupation. Occupation means, okay, something through which you earn income, right? Okay, or some of the activity through which you do earn income. Okay, that is called as occupation. Okay, so profession can be defined as an occupation backed by specialized knowledge and training. Okay, now for earning that income, you do possess certain specialized knowledge, or you might have possessed some of the degrees through which, through that certification itself, or that certification itself proves that you have possessed some of the knowledge. With that, you have also gone through some of the training. You have gone through some of the training. So combining these two things, that is the specialized knowledge and training, whenever you carry your occupation in which entry is restricted, but as we have specialized knowledge, as we have taken training, we are allowed to carry that occupation. Yes, such type of work itself is called as profession. Any type of work that needs special training or a particular skill, often one that is respected because it involves a high level of education, such type of work itself is called as profession. Getting it? What is profession? Profession is that work for which we need specialized knowledge, experience and training. If you don't possess such type of training, if you don't possess such type of specialized knowledge, if you have not studied for it, if you have not trained yourself, surely your entry to that occupation, to that work, is restricted. For example, if you think that you should work as a doctor, yes, if you think that you should work as a doctor, or you think that you should be providing medicines, or you think that you should cure patients, is it? If you think that you should be curing the patients, you should be a doctor, right? And today, if you think that from today onwards I will be doctor, will the society accept you as a doctor? No. Unless until you possess the degree or that specialized knowledge whichever is required to practice as a doctor, the society will not accept you. And if you establish a hospital, if you establish a hospital or a clinic, what will happen? Yes, you will be imprisoned, right? Why? Because you don't possess such type of specialized knowledge, you don't possess such type of degree, and your entry is restricted. You don't possess some permissions or licenses which are needed to run the hospital or clinic, right? So in the same sense, whenever we consider management, why management is treated as a profession? Yes, or what are the features of professions which you do find into management? Is it? Can management be treated as a profession? Yes. All these questions which just we have discussed will be resolved or will be solved into our lecture. So let's see what are the characteristics of profession. First characteristic is well-defined body of knowledge. In every profession there is a practice of systematic body of knowledge which helps the professionals to gain specialized knowledge of that profession. In case of management also, there is availability of systematic body of knowledge. There are large number of books available on management studies. Scholars are studying various business situations and they are trying to develop new principles to tackle these situations. So presently this feature of profession is present in management also. The first characteristics of profession, what is it? Yes, well-defined body of knowledge. Okay, well-defined body of knowledge, what it means. Yes, okay. Now, whenever we consider any profession, okay, for example, doctor or the medical practitioner, then if we consider, okay, lawyer, yes, these are all the professions. These are the professions. Okay, do you find books of these professions? Yes, you do find books of these professions. Okay, means if some of the people they are stuck, or if these people, maybe the doctor or maybe the lawyers, okay, if they face any problem, if there is any hurdle, if there is any obstacle, okay, or if there is a situation in which, okay, based on their past knowledge they can't resolve it, then what they do, yes, they refer to some of the literature, right? They go on searching for a literature, okay, and whenever they thoroughly study that literature, yes, when they thoroughly study the literature, surely the problem, okay, which they were facing, or the obstacle or the hurdle which they were facing, that will be resolved into the literature itself. So in the same sense, whenever we consider management, okay, if into your business, if you are facing a situation, okay, and based on your previous knowledge, okay, based on your so-called past experiences, okay, you are not able to resolve it, you are not able to resolve it, what you do, you go on searching, okay, you search for some of the books which highlight management studies, okay, and you will be studying some of the principles, you will be studying some of the theories which are quoted by the thinkers, right? Okay, now after you go through the literature of management studies or books of management studies, yes, it will help you to get out of the problem, okay, to resolve such type of problems, you can solve the problems, right? Okay, so this feature you do find into profession also, and the same feature is found in management also, means well defined body of knowledge, right? We do have well defined body of knowledge, means if some of the problems they you as a manager you do face such type of problems, then what you can do is just you can refer some of the books and get you yourself sorted out from that problems, okay. Then the second feature, yes, what is the second feature? Restricted entry, okay, restricted entry. What is restricted entry? The entry to a profession is restricted through an examination or degree. For example, if a person wants to practice as a doctor, okay, only when he can practice, yes, when he possesses MBBS degree, okay, whereas there is no legal restrictions on appointment of a manager. Anyone can become a manager irrespective of the educational qualification, but now many of the companies they do prefer to appoint managers only with MBA degree. So presently these features of profession is not present in management, but very soon it will be included with statutory backing, okay. Now restricted entry, what is restricted entry? Restricted entry itself means that, okay, in profession, okay, whenever we consider profession, okay, unless until you possess some of the degrees, okay, unless until you possess certain degree, you can't enter into that profession. For example, okay, we will revise that example. What is it? Okay, now if you are interested to serve the society. Okay, you are interested in curing the patients or treat the patients. Okay, yes, which is a profession through which you can treat the patients. Yes, you should be a doctor, right? Okay, now if you want to practice as a doctor, you should be possessing some degrees. Okay, what is a degree? Yes, you might be possessing MBBS. Okay, if you possess MBBS degree and you have suitable licenses and all, then only you can, yes, cure the patients, right? Okay, and if you don't possess such type of degree and you establish a hospital and started running that hospital, what will happen? Yes, you will be banned by the statute. Okay, the law, from the eyes of law, okay, it will be illegal and you might be imprisoned. This might happen. Okay, so whenever we consider management, what is the state now? Okay, yes, some of the companies, they do have they do have included the policy to hire the person who possesses MBA degree for being a manager. Okay, if the company needs managers, nowadays they do hire people who have MBA degree. Okay, yes, still it is not included in the statute. Okay, it is not included in law, but still in the coming days, in the future, it might be included. It might be included. So whenever we consider this feature, okay, 100% it is not applicable now, but in the near future it will be applicable. Okay, then presence of professional association. Okay, what is this feature? Yes, for all the professions, special associations are established, and every professional has to get himself registered with his association before practicing that profession. For example, doctors have to get themselves registered with the Medical Council of India, lawyers with the Bar Council of India, etc. In case of management, okay, various management associations are set up of national and international level, which have some membership rules and set of ethical codes. Okay, for example, AIMA in New Delhi, etc. But legally, it is not compulsory for managers to become a part of this organization by registration. So presently, this feature of profession is not present into management. Okay, now presence of professional association means what? Okay, if any person is from so and so profession, he is supposed to get himself registered with that association to practice that profession. Okay, for example, okay, the profession of doctor, okay, means if a person is a doctor or he has completed the studies related to doctor, or he has completed or he has been awarded with the degree of MBBS, etc. Okay, whichever is needed to practice as a doctor. Okay, after completion of his degree program, what he is required to do? He is required to, yes, register himself with that association, or else he can't run or he can't carry his profession. Okay, it is quite compulsory for him, right? Okay, in the same sense, whenever we consider lawyers, okay, they are supposed to register themselves with Bar Council of India, okay, to practice their profession, right? Okay, but whenever we consider management, okay, if a person is a manager, okay, till now it is not compulsory for him to register himself with certain associations of managers. Okay, so this feature, it is not applicable to him. Okay, then fourth one, existence of ethical codes. For every profession there are set of ethical codes. Okay, ethical codes means do's and don'ts. Okay, means what that person is supposed to do and what he should not do, okay, whenever he is practicing his profession. Okay, so for every profession there are set of ethical rules fixed by professional organization and that are quite binding on all the professionals of that profession. In case of management, there is growing emphasis on ethical behavior of managers. All India Management Association, that is AIMA, has devised a code of conduct for Indian managers, but legally it is not compulsory for the managers to get registered with AIMA and abide by the ethical code. So presently this feature of professional is not present in management, but very soon it will be included with statutory backing. Okay, so whenever we consider ethical codes, okay, that is do's and don'ts. Okay, if you want to practice that profession, what are the things which you are allowed to do, what are the things which you are disallowed with, right? Okay, now whenever we consider some of the professions like lawyers, some of the profession like is it the profession of being a medical practitioner, being a doctor. Okay, now whenever we consider these professions, okay, some of the things these people they are not required, they are required to do. Okay, for example, confidentiality, right? Confidentiality related to some of the cases. Okay, confidentiality related to the information related to patients, is it? Okay, means the doctor or the lawyer is not required or he is not allowed to disclose some of the facts related to the patients or the victims or whomsoever who approaches that person. Okay, some of the information related to these people, related to clients, related to patients, they are not to be disclosed or shared with any person. Okay, if that person shares that information, then yes, he will be penalized for it, he will be punished for it. Okay, so but though some of the associations related to management, they have issued some of the norms, some of the ethical codes or the code of conduct related to practicing management as a profession. Okay, still it is not compulsory for the managers to register themselves with such type of association. So if they don't follow some of the rules, then it is okay nowadays. Okay, but after few days it will be backed by some of the statute or some of the law. Okay, so currently this feature is not included in management. And the last feature, what is the last feature? Service motive. What is service motive? The basic motive of every profession is to serve the clients with dedication, whereas basic purpose of management is achievement of management goals. For example, okay, in a business organization, why the business organization they are established? Yes, for profit maximization purpose. But nowadays only profit maximization cannot be the sole goal of an enterprise. To survive in the market for a long period of time, a businessman must give due importance to social objectives along with economic objectives. So presently the feature of profession is not present, but very soon it will be included. Okay, service motive. What is service motive? Service motive means to serve the organizations, to serve the organizations, to serve the society. Okay, now as like other professions, okay, in other profession, for example, if you're if you are a doctor or if you are a lawyer. Okay, what is your expected role? Your expected role is to serve the society, right? You should be, okay, as a doctor you can cure the patients. Okay, you can cure the patients who are a part of society. Okay, as a lawyer, what you should be doing? Okay, if your client is facing some of the problems, okay, if your client is stuck into some of the legal matters, what you can do is you can help them to resolve, or you can help them to get out of it, right? So here it is the service motive. But as a manager, you are an employee of that organization. Yes, what you should be doing, you should always care about objectives of your organization, and the first objective of your organization is profit maximization. Though we think that, though we say that in modern times customer satisfaction is the objective, okay, still somewhere we care about a profit maximization also. So many of the time you might ignore the service motive and you can focus on profit maximization. So now currently the service motive, it is not included into management, but after some days it might be included. So whenever we consider some of the characteristics of professions, they are exactly applicable to management, but some of them they are to be added in the near future. So whenever we consider management, it can be treated as a profession, because yes, you are required to have certain specialized knowledge, you are required to train yourself, but it is not quite compulsory to have certain degrees till now. Okay, but in near future it will be. So with this we do conclude our today's lecture. Thank you.